You're listening to Grindhouse Courthouse, a show where we put movies on trial to determine whether or not it has committed too many movie misdemeanors to be considered viewable. Please rise for nobody, because this is a deposition episode. Enjoy!
Wolf Warrior is a 2015 film directed by Wu Jing. It was released in China and also in some streaming services. That's about all we can realistically say about this movie. Thanks for tuning in to this week's episode. Good night. How's that?
Solid.
Perfect.
Solid.
And to be clear, it was written, directed, starring, key grip,
Best boy.
Winchin. Wuchin. Shit.
I went
Wuxing.
Wu Jing. Thank you very much.
Wuxing?
Is it there a G at the end?
Yes.
Yes. To any of our fans who can actually pronounce any of these names, we're doing our best. Give us a break. Like, you know we're going to be bad.
Yep.
We're not doing it intentionally. We tried, and we failed. Much like most of this podcast. So please just bear with us.
A+ for effort on all of this.
Any complaints could be directed to @Dave. You'll have to edit out his last name. Sorry. Cut that whole joke.
No, that's fine. We got the edit.
I'll just beep it out. It's fine.
Yeah.
All right, keep it in.
Okay.
So, what's Wolf Warrior about? Can anyone sum it up in a single sentence?
Killing wolves.
That's part of it. That is definitely part of it.
That's in the middle, for sure.
Do you want to give it a shot, Tom?
Yeah, Chinese military propaganda.
It literally is.
The end.
Yes. Yeah, there's no way around that.
Is it any more propagandistic than some mainstream Hollywood movies? That's going to be the question running through this whole podcast. It's obviously propaganda, but it's only super obviously propaganda because we're from the outside. So,
Definitely.
this is a moment to self-reflect and also to make fun of this really stupid movie. Adam,
Yeah.
are you or are you not a communist?
Oh, God. That's how we want to start. There's some pros and cons. Let's leave it at that.
Okay, first thing, pro, all the power is in the hands of one man.
Yeah.
So you like that.
Great.
Power of the man.
You're going to take my hard-earned money
Yes, for the better good.
and give it to freeloaders.
Yeah, because they need it.
What are the cons then?
Nothing. We solved it.
Got it, guys. End capitalism.
Yeah,
Adam
there we
is a
go.
communist. All right.
Okay.
We gotta talk about our hero in this film. I believe his
yeah.
name is Scott Atkins.
Oh,
Oh, true hero.
that's how you go to. Wow. Okay, we know where Dave's standing
So
on this one.
he loves to fight. He says that as much. He's like, oh, we're going to have to fight the entire Chinese army. And then he goes, that's exactly how I want it.
Yeah, we need to address his fucking plan throughout this whole goddamn episode because he is the worst military individual I've ever seen. And I have to use military individual. I know that's a stupid term because like what he is makes no sense. We'll come back to that.
Okay.
But maybe let's
Scott?
set up the plot.
Yeah, let's set up the plot.
Tomcat, I believe is his name.
Yeah,
Tom.
his name's Tomcat in this.
They all have stupid names in these movies.
Such a dumb name.
Like in Wolf Warrior 2, there's another one. It's Big Daddy. That's the villain.
Ooh,
So,
sexy.
yeah. Okay,
It's not
so
Big
let's...
Zaddy.
Ghosts of Mars.
Oh.
Okay,
Mawa, fawa, baga, bana.
let's try and take it from the top of this movie. So Wolf Warrior opens in an industrial lot area where we get introduced to our main character, our hero, and he is the best sniper around.
Lang
and we
Fang.
see
Tomcat's a sniper?
not Tomcat. What was it, Matthew?
Ling Fang.
Ling Fang?
Yep.
Okay, Lang
Lang, yeah.
Fang. It's
No, I think it's pronounced Long Fong.
Long Fong. Okay, Lang Fang
Yeah.
or Long Fong. Sorry about the mispronunciation, but yeah, it's not a common name for us. So
We're doing our best.
we're doing our best on this. We really want to actually dive into this movie, but there's going to be some hurdles. So anyway, we get introduced to the hero, best sniper around.
I think it's Fong.
God damn it. Let me keep going.
Yeah, it's pronounced Long Fong, played by Wu Jing. And I think that's as close as we're going to get.
Okay,
Long Fong, played by Wu Jing.
Long Fong.
Main actor,
I'm just going to call
director,
him
producer.
Chinese
Writer.
Sniper because, I watched American Sniper. Now these two movies are just merging in my brain. But please, Adam, tell us what's going on.
Thank you. I'm just going to refer to him as Long Fong. It might be wrong. I apologize, but we're going to move on. Anyway, he's the best sniper around. He's part of some Chinese military group, and
They're called the People's Liberation Army Special Operations Forces, or the PLA.
I did not catch that on our viewing, but kudos.
Yeah.
Kudos still.
Neither did I. I read their Wikipedia, and that's the only reason I have any information.
Yeah, that might be why I got it too. I don't know.
Okay, that was very that was not
But
clear.
they do say PLA a few times in the movie, or at least that's what my translator put down.
Oh yes, I guess we should also address that point. Is the subtitles? There might be miscommunication with this. Some words might have not transferred over, or sentences. So it's hard to actually...
Basic cultural attitudes, ideas, traditions.
So that was a challenge. But anywho, the crew, they're busting a drug operation, I believe, and they're going full Splinter Cell on this. You have people being sniped, bodies being caught by the crew. One guy hangs upside down and snaps some guy's neck. They're using GoPros quite a bit, so you get that first-person kind of feel as this military group is going in and to stop this drug bust. So right off the bat, we're seeing a badass team doing what they do best. But we're also seeing, dare I say, a lone wolf standing out among his group and not taking orders.
If I could slap you, I would.
Pack. His pack.
His pack.
His pack. Finish the analogy.
God damn it.
Nope. Anyway, we're finding out that there's you have like a military leader that's controlling this mission. He's got a real cool holodeck. I have to say the technology was kind of fun in those scenes. I really like to see a table that has light up displays and they're like whipping them around, showing the mission. There's cameras everywhere in this industrial area with this drug deal going down. Anyway,
I believe every soldier has a little mini camera.
But there's cameras on the walls, like in high angles, so it's unclear.
A drone takes off at the beginning of the scene.
Okay, one drone, but like they're within the buildings. That was the confusing part of this movie, of like, how are they getting footage of all this? Because later on in the movie, they're in the forest and they're just like...
I disagree. I think when they just casually create rain and then don't address that is more confusing.
Oh yeah, I did not have that.
How
in my
else
notes,
are you supposed to get rid of the magic graphite bomb with heavy artificial rain?
But we're getting ahead of ourselves. The cameras are the confusing part here.
I had it in my notes because I went back to just like quickly skim through the movie. I was just like, how are they getting these shots? It's never addressed, but it adds to the action. We're actually seeing it from different angles. Anywho, the drug dealer uses his smartphone and the bombs go off, taking out a bunch of these military guys. And then it's a hostage situation where we have our hero jumping down from his sniper spot, coming in and disobeying direct orders. They're saying, let it be. He's got a hostage. Instead, he shoots through the wall to kill the drug dealer, which we find out is a brother to a drug overlord, I want to say.
I think so.
Yes.
Yeah, his name is Min Dang.
Min Dang.
Or
Okay.
Min Dong.
We just call him Big Daddy.
Yeah, this one's not
Can we
Big
just
Daddy.
call him
We can't-
jiggly-faced murderer? Because every time he murders people, his face is jiggling.
Let's count it in between. We'll call him Puff Daddy since he's always puffing on his cigar.
Oh, that's very true. Yeah.
Perfect.
So
the guy that he shoots through the wall is the brother of this crime lord, the jiggly faced Puff Daddy crime lord.
yeah.
And so I think that's
We'll call him Jiggly Puff Daddy.
Let's trademark that.
Trademark.
That's a good name.
I'm gonna put that on a T-shirt for us. Don't worry, guys.
Jiggly Puff Daddy from now on. Yes, that is his brother.
Yeah, so then I think the next, that scene is the high watermark of action in the whole movie. Like we were all sucked in, and then slowly it just petered out towards the end of the movie after that.
and then it picks up a bit in the middle, and then a bit at the end. But this is really,
But
it
it does its job. It establishes Long Fong. He's a maverick. He's a rogue. He's a scoundrel. He does not follow orders, and he gets thrown into solitary.
Yes.
Yep.
Where he is working out, just sweating up a storm until
Fucking
love
This guy
interest.
is so sweaty.
Yeah, he was super sweaty. But we have love interest / lady. I actually don't have her name recorded here.
I got her name. Oh God. Okay, this one. Bear with me. Long Xiao Yung.
Okay.
Long Xiao Yun.
Okay.
That's
Okay.
the best I'm going to do.
Anyway, she goes to the jail cell and proposes that he joins this wolf warrior group. And the way that she does that is by trying to get him drunk. But we find out that our hero...
Successfully getting him drunk.
But he
Because
can't
he's
get
never
drunk.
drunk before in his entire life.
Yes,
He can only get drunk
Oh, was that what it was? I thought he could not get drunk because he started at an early
No,
age.
he's a fucking lightweight. He's just like, I've never
See,
had
this
a
is where
drink.
the translations are no longer reliable.
No,
'Cause my translation said, I used to get drunk when I was 3 years old.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
That's what I heard. When he's 13. 13, I thought.
I thought he was bullshitting because he just immediately takes one drink and he's going like, "Oh, rice wine!" But he's grabbing his throat like Nick Cage and Mandy. And, it's just
But he powers that back.
I thought he was like joking. He's like, oh, you can't get me drunk. I've been drinking since I was 13. That's why he's like chugging it.
That's how I interpreted it.
no.
But I couldn't tell if it was he was drinking it or if it was just spilling on his chest. But he was so sweaty, I couldn't tell.
Oh, there was a lot of sweat mixed in with the rice wine
Yeah.
for sure. Yeah.
Anyway, after all this, like, you can't get me drunk. I've never been drunk. I'll never be drunk. He's fucking hammered, and he's just spilling the beans about, like, oh, my fucking dad or somebody died, and, like, this happened, and then he passes out. Probably pisses himself. They don't show it, but
But it's implied.
you can tell.
It mixed in with the sweat. You'll just
implied.
never know.
Man's covered in so many liquids.
Was that almost like flashback to his dad? Like, was that very confusing?
Oh,
Yes,
yeah.
it was.
Yes.
Is that his dad? Because I don't
Yeah.
fucking know.
We find out like at the very end that was his dad.
Whose dad?
I fought that to the very end of the
thing.
movie. Everyone else around me was saying like, no, that's his dad.
Yeah.
We're seeing his dad's history and what he did
Yes.
and his shame. And I was like, no, it's an unrelated movie that they just spliced in. And it turns out I was wrong.
Okay.
But you were kind of right.
It's so confusing.
We need to address this because it is not resolved and it shows up 3 different times in the movie.
no gets
So
resolved.
she's
It's pivotal.
okay. Well, maybe you followed it better than I did. So she's getting him drunk, and at a certain point, as he's drunk, there's a flashback.
Yes.
So he's a child, and he goes, "My dad got drunk one time and fucked my mom, and that's how I'm here." And then all the kids start laughing at him, and he's like, "Fuck you! Don't laugh at me!"
That's word for word.
I forgot about that. I forgot about that.
Hard cut. A soldier marches off to war, and a little boy watches him. We think this is Long Fong, but we're not sure. But it
Yeah.
looks probably like it's him. Anyway, cut to this battle scene where there's Chinese soldiers fighting somebody. I don't know who the fuck they're fighting.
Unknown enemy.
Anyway, they're like, "We gotta get the intelligence out of here!" And then Chinese soldiers are just getting killed. And then finally, one of the soldiers gets shot, and he's screaming to this other soldier who's evidently holding the information, "Kill me! Just kill me! Shoot me!" And the guy's like, "No!" And he just slinks away.
Yes.
Hard cut. We have no idea what's going on. I don't know who any of those people are. If there's any kind of clarity in the in the Mandarin, or no, I don't even know if it's Mandarin. I think it's Mandarin.
I thought it
One
was
of the Chinese languages. Whatever is lost there is completely lost because I have no clue who these people are. And if that intelligence, I thought the intelligence was important for this movie.
Oh, no.
And it's not.
No.
Yeah, I have no idea.
Again,
Anyway.
It's just honor.
I think
honor
yeah.
is the only thing that's important.
I think it's just he feels disrespected from the actions of his father for being a coward and not killing that man and
How
running
does
away.
he know that?
Yeah, that's the thing.
Strong-
Like, he
yeah.
doesn't know anything.
And that's
Did his dad tell him that this happened and then it's playing back as a memory?
But he doesn't know where his dad is.
hard cut. Back to our hero.
It's almost
Getting
like this
hooked up.
father-son plot was shoehorned in at the end. It doesn't matter or make any difference to anything.
They really
It only
needed
matters
to
at the
buff
very
out.
end with that fucking medal that she gives him.
Yeah, they needed
And
to.
like, it closes the book
we
for
need to
him.
come back to because that also makes no sense.
Right?
Okay.
Why
Yeah.
this guy gets the medal.
The runtime.
So we'll come back.
Yeah, the runtime was a solid 90 minutes. If we didn't have that
The
part
best.
and the ending, it would have been too short. So we needed something shoehorned in. We needed more.
We
depth.
need closure, I think.
Yes. Well,
They needed family drama.
drama.
Gotta get that in there.
Yeah. Okay. So Long Fong, he is now recruited to join Wolf Warriors. And in order to join them, he has to be hooked up to a helicopter and be flown to a secret place. Yeah, I can't get it out straight either.
That was clearly just like, we've got some helicopters that the government's going to loan us. What if we just strapped the actor to it and said, like, do whatever you feel like? So he's running in the air, and he's clearly just
Do
having
the
a
running
great
man in
time.
the air.
No, man,
doing flips.
he saw it and he just like, I just want to do this for fun.
I think so.
Hook
He's
me up.
Yeah.
smiling. It's
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
it's like the most. It's the most playful music playing too. It's like, "Bah, bah, 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 bah," and he's laughing. On the ground, all the soldiers are like, that's the toughest motherfucker I've ever seen.
Oh God.
And then the greatest scene happens. And then the best scene happens when he meets. I took very meticulous notes, so you gotta let me do this.
Go
one.
for it.
You
Go
gotta
for
let
it.
me
Oh
say
yeah,
that.
yeah.
So this is straight out of action movie like 101. This is new guy recruited to the elite squad introduction, basically. So the commander comes out, he's like, who's this piece of shit who thinks he's good enough to join the wolf soldiers? And the guy's like, my name's Long Fong. I'm a sniper. He's like, oh yeah? You think you're a sniper? Really? You're not attentive. What if this were a real battlefield? So what happens is like 80 tanks pull up and like point blank at Long Fong's face. He's like, what if this were a battlefield? You would have been surrounded. What would your last words have been, scrub? And then, and this is where either my translation just breaks down or there is just a cultural barrier because Long Fong goes, that would never happen to me. Because this is a barrier-free open isolation zone with tanks and shit dug in. If dozens of enemies show up here, dug in, and set up for an ambush, there's only one possibility, you motherfucker. You and all your men committed treason, and you know what we do with traitors, don't you? That's right. We damn all your ancestors. And then everyone in the army's like, oh, shit!
There's an
Okay,
snap
that is
moment.
not the way I took it.
And he's welcomed as one of the wolf soldiers. Now, did you guys have the same translation as me?
Word for word.
Our translation was like, it was pretty loose. The way I took it, he was basically being like, well, if I got captured, it's because my commander was a dumb shit. And then that's why everybody was like, oh, we fucking got him. I like your version way more.
I watched it 4 times to understand it. Because it took 5 minutes to explain. And like, I think the takeaway is like, I am actually very attentive.
Yes.
It's kind of like, have you guys ever heard the Norm Macdonald logistician joke where he meets a professor and like basically the professor reasons from like, do you have a doghouse to you're a gay man? Basically like all these steps along the way, you have to reason your way to it. But the joke is like, he meets the guy, he goes, hey, do you have a doghouse? No. Oh, you're gay? So basically, that's what happens here is Long Fong is like making all these associative, like logical
Steps.
assumptions
Yeah.
that get him from I showed up here in a helicopter to you're a traitor and damn your ancestors.
It just shows that he's always like 7 steps ahead of everyone around him, and that
I think that's the takeaway from that scene.
He's very smart. He's
Well, yeah, he's the best and the coolest, and everybody loves him. He's number one.
yeah. So he gets paired up with another group. I can't remember like what that guy's name is either, but he's not going to be with the leader anymore, like the leader of the Wolf Warriors, because he's a smartass. So he gets downgraded basically and put in with another group of outcasts. But
Kinda.
well, yeah,
But he's let in. They embrace him. I don't think they're outcasts. I think they're just like,
lower rank.
that took some balls. You're in, you son of a bitch.
There's a lot of cliches. Yes, there's a lot of cliches that carry over with this. I forgot to say, meanwhile, the drug overlord, Mr. Puffy Face Big Daddy, what's his name?
Jigglypuff Daddy.
Jigglypuff Daddy.
Jigglypuff Daddy Face. He's being captured. There's a military group that enters his house. And this is where we get the scene where they're taking him out and he's puffing on a cigar with in handcuffs. And the American special ops comes in to save him because he's hired them to protect him, but then also find the killer of his brother.
We gotta make sure it's not an American squad; it's a mercenary group.
Just mercenary group.
He just happens to like all be American.
I think they're all ex.
You know, don't look into that too closely. You know, they all speak English. They're all U.S. ex-Navy SEALs, but they're not American. You just have to make that connection in your
They're
brain.
dirty Western dogs. They're filthy
Yes.
Western dogs.
Thank you.
So,
Capitalists with no pride of country. Dogs.
yes, it's
They just love to fight.
and it's very clear that they're just doing this for money. They don't care whose side they're on. The mercenaries, like Dave was mentioning, they just want money. And probably the funniest exchange that we all laughed at was they're at the funeral of the drug dealer, the brother, and Puff Daddy Face is drawing the mercenaries over to a table full of cash, and they open up one of the briefcase with cash, and it's a photo of our hero. And Dylan, I'm just curious if you had a weird audio, but at one point, we're unsure who says this, but it's just the photo of him and goes, "A Chinese guy?" And then it goes up to Scott Adkins in a completely different voice, and he's like, "Yeah,
Not his voice.
Yeah, we can take him out."
So there were two actors who it looked like they ADR'd initially. So they initially ADR'd Scott Adkins, but then they gave that up. Now there's a good reason they ADR'd Scott Adkins. Does anyone know why? It would be pretty evident as the movie went on.
Doesn't have an American accent?
Because he has a British accent.
Yeah, I thought he was Australian,
Oh,
but
fair
yeah,
enough.
No, he's got a very noticeable British accent. So I think they ADR'd him initially in that scene, and then they're like, fuck it. You talk too much, it looks too weird. But they kept the black guy. He kept getting ADR'd. I'm pretty sure.
Yes, he did.
I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, because it sounded goofy when he was talking. I remember now.
Yeah,
they're
because it
the
was out of
Humvee.
sync slightly, as ADR usually looks. But the response to that cued me into what kind of movie this was about to be, which was like, is that a Chinese guy? He goes, "Don't look down on China." And I'm like, whoa, fuck.
Yes.
Oh, shit. It's going to be one of those movies. Oh, shit.
Yeah.
Yep. And
Anyway.
and essentially, those are the villains for the rest of the movie, and the reason that they are the villains or how they get into the situations is a little bit perplexing to me, and it actually made me question who this movie is actually made for. But in any event, he essentially hires these mercenaries, implied U.S. Western mercenaries, to kill Long Fong because he killed his brother.
Yes.
Then we get the scene where essentially, because the Wolf Warriors are this elite unit that are specially there for war games or doing like war simulation. So then that's where we see the token scene of Long Fong is put with a separate group, but he's a loose cannon. He's a maverick. He doesn't do things the way everyone else does. And then he basically runs off into the woods, and then he essentially, with a little ragtag group of guys, wins the whole war game simulation. And that's how he wins over everyone, right?
Yeah.
So one point of clarification. As all great movies, you could just have a very simple antagonist motivation, which is vengeance for his brother, but they decide to complicate it because it's not just vengeance. There's also a biological weapon that is designed specifically to kill Chinese.
Yeah.
I forgot about
Right.
I forgot about that.
I forgot about this one too.
Does that even come into play at any time?
Where have we heard this plot before? Grindhouse Courthouse trivia question. Where have we heard the plot before of a biological weapon designed to target only specific ethnic groups?
Dylan, I think I have the answer for this, but I'm going to wait for my other co-hosts to take a guess. Go around the table.
No, I'm sticking with James Bond.
Dave says James Bond. That wasn't an episode we did. Tom?
All I can think about is that Resident Evil 6, where they've got the C virus.
Still not an episode we've done. Matthew?
We didn't talk about Resident Evil 6.
It's Ninja Turtles, right? The Ninja Turtles hate other species, so it's...
Nailed it.
Yeah.
Whoa, dude, this is like a biological Ebola vaccine that targets only mutant ninja
Donatello, isn't that eugenics? Isn't that frowned upon? No, bro.
It's Mission Impossible 2. It's the Chimera virus.
Right.
It's radical. It's tubular.
Another Thomas Cruise movie. So we're pulling from the classics here.
Tom Cruise.
It's coming together. It's coming together. Anyway, yeah, I completely forgot about that virus because I don't believe it's Tom Strong.
So Jigglypuff Daddy basically tells Tom Cat, that's the ex-Navy SEAL British guy, get your team together. You're going to go kill this soldier guy.
Yes.
Okay. And then it picks up from where Matt was describing.
Yeah, so the training... Oh, go ahead, Matt.
I was going to... So the training exercise, they go through this whole thing, and essentially it's just there to show that Long Fong is tactically brilliant and wins over the respect of all the commanders and everyone else in the Wolf Warriors. Then there is
I think he only wins his respect during the scene with the wolves.
Oh my god, yeah, maybe, because that is the bizarre next scene that they are just randomly, they're just in the woods or whatever after they've won this exercise, and then they are attacked by about 100 CGI 1997 CGI wolves.
It's bad. It's really bad.
It's in the middle of this like war games. Like, where's everyone else?
Unclear.
I don't know.
Well, they went their own way because, again, they're mavericks, they're rogues, they do what they want, and now they're put in this weird situation where a pack of wolves surrounds our wolf warriors.
So we need to be clear here. Who is here? Because I don't think the main commander is with him.
No, I don't
I
think.
think
No.
it's him and his buddies.
Yes,
so
it's
the
the
little
three of them.
tiny,
because
the
the main-
squadron.
There's a scene there where the main commander's like, let's go down there and get them. And then our hero, Sniper Man, goes, wait, that's definitely a trap, even though he has like no reason to believe it's a trap whatsoever. And so main commander's like, I'll fucking skull fuck you, motherfucker, let's go. But he doesn't go. So the main force is destroyed. Then him and his band of like fuck up squad, basically decide like, we're just gonna win this. They do. Then they run off into the woods and they're just like camping, I guess. And a bunch of wolves show up.
I don't think they actually win that war game. They just take out the commander.
They do. Because
Yeah,
And like,
but
the war
that
game is
winning-
still
the commander
going.
takes off his badge and he goes, "You got me.
That's
You got
that's
me."
how wars work, Dave.
This is-
If you kill the king, you win.
Have you ever played Age of Empires? Come on.
Oh,
Do you think chess is just a game?
yeah, for babies.
Whoa.
I know if I were in a war and my commander died, I would be like, I guess I just gonna stop fighting now.
Yeah.
I just gonna let them kill me. Like
Yeah.
that's the
You
rule.
just give up.
I mean, I know they say no rules in war, but there are some rules.
There's some
Like,
structure, yeah.
I also find it funny that when the commander came out of like his mobile command center, he was dressed as like a cook or something.
Oh, yeah,
Like,
He was just
camouflage?
carrying,
Carrying
he was carrying cilinders. He had like the coffee. They don't really explain that.
Commander, the base is under attack. Oh shit! Let me get my apron
Get the
on.
sandwiches.
We have people for this.
Yeah, anyway, so and that's also the commander who threw him into solitary in the first place. So it was doubly
right.
satisfying for Long Fong to get him.
Nice.
And they had like a crazy like paintball smoke grenade thing that let him snipe him. Anyway,
Yeah.
it doesn't really
I
matter.
just have notes of their guns are paintball guns and they have sparklers. That's their weapons at this point. And they're now fighting
'cause it's
real wolves that are attacking them, so they have to.
So a pack of 400 wolves descend upon these guys.
how many guys are in this group? There's like 4 guys,
four.
right?
Yeah.
There's like
there's
4 or 5.
Yeah.
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 And the point is, they do not have real guns. They got like sparklers, they got Roman candles, and they got knives. Why they have real knives, I don't know. But they have real
but they
knives.
have real knives. At least they got some.
God, they got some real knives. And they fucking go full on. What's that Liam Neeson movie?
It's the gray. Once more into that good fight.
Yeah.
They fuck up a lot of wolves
They
in
Yeah.
this scene.
Yeah, so they just fight these wolves, and like there's this epic scene where Long Fong stares down the alpha dog and has to take it down, and he becomes the alpha dog of his wolf pack.
Yes, we're
Oh my
seeing-
God.
It's
A lot of
a
lot of
metaphor.
bayonet charges when they're
Yeah.
fighting these wolves for some reason.
Yeah.
I just don't get it.
Yeah.
Also,
But yeah, he kills the alpha, and you know it's the alpha because it's got a scar over its eye.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Tom, can you
That's how
clarify
wolves work.
for me how a bayonet charge works? Like, do you remember how he's holding his gun with the bayonet on it? Do you remember
Yeah,
his
so
stance?
you basically like drop the butt of the rifle as low to the ground as you possibly can while still having it point forward in one direction, and then you like hold it by the barrel and you just start running and screaming and yelling, and maybe there's like a thrusting motion in there. It's optional. It's not really required.
Tom, I'm really happy you didn't watch Wolf Warrior 2 because the way that he holds the assault rifle in it would just make you vomit. Like you would have blacked out from this movie of just pure rage.
Was it gangster?
Yeah,
the
there's
gangster turn?
multiple moments where he's like lifting up the elbow going sideways. It's weird.
Oh, so he's a real operator.
Yeah.
It's very tactical.
Oh, yeah. I know nothing about guns.
Very
and
tactical.
It was weird
I
looking.
know everything there is to know about guns. That bayonet charge fucking pissed me off. I don't know. Maybe that is how they teach it in the Chinese armed forces, but to me it looked like he would just drop the rifle as soon as he stabbed someone. It worked out great in the wolf fight because they always just like jumped on top of the bayonet that he was holding above his head. Very, very cool. Very cool.
Very cool. That scene ends, and we get like our next day. Actually, sorry, they're back at their camp in the little tent together, and they're celebrating their victory. And we get one character showing his child, a photo of his child. So we know that this is important.
And you know
this
that
guy,
motherfucker's gonna
he's
die.
dead next scene. Like within 12 minutes, this man is dead.
You know, Longfong, I just love living. It's so good to be alive.
This guy actually,
Like literally almost his slides. Like, yeah, that's
2 years,
exactly what he says.
2 weeks from retirement. I love life. Wife just had a kid.
can't wait.
Can't wait to be a
Don't
granddad.
they sing like a fucking psychotic song too, where it's like Wolf Warriors just wanna bang a chick,
Yeah.
we just wanna fuck a girl,
Oh.
and you're like, okay,
Oh yeah.
one of these
by
guys
the way,
is dead.
feminism has not arrived in this troop because so it kind of has, but it has. So the leader of the entire, like the overarching commander of the Wolf Warriors is a woman, this Long Xiaoyun.
Mm-hmm.
So there is that, but our hero, when they're sitting in the plane talking about like, do you guys think it's kind of weird that my translation said broad. I don't know what the Chinese word would have been.
Yeah.
My translation said broad, though. What did your guys say?
I think we had broad as well.
I can't remember.
Okay, anyway.
Yeah, that one came across perfectly fine. No
Yeah.
mistakes in any translation on that one.
So anyway, who knows what the actual word was supposed to signify? But then our hero's like, you think he's gonna like? He starts speaking because these are the other team members. Like, yeah, do you think it's kind of weird? Like some guys are like, no, she's tough, and like other guys are like, I don't know, it's kind of weird. There's a broad leading our team. And then our hero opens his mouth, so you think he's going to be like super woke about it? Nope. He's like, some man should really conquer her, don't you think, guys? Yeah. And they're like, oh yeah? He's like, yeah, a man like me. That's his line. And then he fucking does.
Yeah, he does what he sets out to do.
Yeah.
Conquer his CO.
Yeah. But she's listening. She's not happy about it. And she just like fills the airway with static.
Or is she? Or is she happy about it?
It is kind of like a playful manner. Yeah. Like, I think there was a little
very
smirk.
Jason Statham in Ghosts of Mars scene where it's like, hey, you want to do it? Like, no, there's ghosts attacking, but yeah, okay.
Yeah, when we have a spare minute.
Because there's ghosts
Sure.
attacking, you dumbass. Anyway.
Yeah, so they've done the...
So they kill all the wolves. Yeah, they're walking along. They identify exactly who's going to die in the next scene, and then the next scene starts.
Yeah.
So they're just like in the wilderness. They're just like walking around aimlessly. There's no mission. They're not going anywhere, and the mercenaries find them.
Yes.
But before even the audience finds out, Sniper Man goes, "I got a bad feeling about this mission." And everyone's like, you're fucking crazy. Before they start shooting at his buddies. What do they do to defend themselves?
Sparklers. They have
Flares.
sparklers.
They get out their little flares, and they're shooting flares at the guys with rifles.
Yeah.
Right?
Except for,
And they're hiding and shooting Roman candles.
our hero jumps down
The
from
one
a
guy dies though, doesn't he?
Oh, yes, he
Doesn't he, like-
dies. Yeah.
Well,
But in a weird
Scott
way.
Atkins...
In a
Scott
almost-
Atkins runs up and, like, kicks the shit out of him, right? And then, like...
Right.
CQ sees the flares underneath his chest, so he shoots himself with 3 flares.
Okay,
And he's dead.
we should give props where props are due. When you say kick the shit out of him, he literally looked like he kicked the shit out of a man. Like his kicks to the solar plex would probably make me shit. Like those looked fucking devastating.
They did.
Every single time he ran up, he just like front kick like a door would fly off its hinges, but that to a chest.
Yeah.
And these guys would just be like, "Oh fucking shit!"
And this is the thing, like, we're crapping on this movie quite a bit, but like the close hand-to-hand combat isn't too bad, where we have like these power kicks.
Scott Adkins is the real deal.
I think it's better.
Yeah.
I think it's really good. Yeah, look at Scott Adkins' resume.
But not just him, like our lead, when he gets down and he gets close, like he jumps down the tree, they're doing like spin moves, like he's very acrobatic, and it's fantastic to watch. And he's also like full sprint in every scene. It's fantastic. So I have to give it like a kudos for whoever did the choreography for these fight scenes. Like at least the close hand, not the shooting ones. The shooting ones were just boring, and that carries over also for Wolf Warrior 2.
Oh yeah, you can tell Hollywood takes its lead from like Chinese cinema on like stunt coordination and shit. So yeah, just not plot, character, acting, concept.
So
CGI.
The gunfighting in this movie isn't great either, because you just never have a sense of scale or like where people are. It's always just like, here's a person in this shot shooting their bullets, and then a person like probably 10,000 miles away, filmed 4 years later, is having the bullets impact him. Really tough to follow.
Also, they do blind fire lots.
Oh, God,
I
yeah.
noticed. Like, they're not even looking. They're just, like, randomly shooting.
Yeah.
A lot of blind fire.
The line of sights do not
Well,
match.
we'll get into randomly
Skillful.
shooting
Yeah.
in a little bit.
So the shooting starts, and for whatever reason, Tomcat decides, nah, I'm going to kick the shit out of these guys. So he runs in, starts shooting his pistol, donkey kicks a couple of them, and then... Okay, so what happens? So there's flares being shot.
Yes. Their group escapes. The mercenaries go off in their own
No,
direction.
no, no. Before that, how does this guy die?
I think he just...
Flares to the chest.
I think he falls on the flares.
Yeah, the flares are like...
He's trying to shoot 3 flares at Scott Adkins, who's running up on him. He's like, I'll get you. These flares can kill anyone,
Yeah.
but 3 can definitely kill you. So
Okay.
he's got his handful of flares. He triggers them, but Scott Adkins is too fucking quick for that.
Yeah.
So he like maneuvers his hand under his chest so the flares are pointing directly at his heart,
Yeah.
and he flares himself like a bitch.
Okay, so we have the death of the real motivating force for our hero now, Long Fong.
Yes.
His
Also-
buddy has been killed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And in case you forgot, we get a flashback of their tender moment in the tent of him showing his child.
That just happened
Yeah.
5 minutes ago.
Flashback.
5 minutes has passed.
Yeah.
Okay, so I got a question. Does Tomcat, like, he doesn't want to kill him, right? He wants to take him alive for the
Something
first...
like that, because he had clear opportunities to kill him, and he doesn't.
Yeah. Like, is he just trying to capture him so the...
I think he's waiting because something's supposed to happen with Jigglypuff Daddy.
See, I thought he was trying to capture him so that he can kill him.
Yeah, I think so.
The big
Oh,
boss
maybe.
can take
Yeah,
his
because
revenge
there's a
out.
very clear scene towards the end when he's running down a hill. He's got like a clear shot on him, and he doesn't take it.
Oh,
So I
yeah.
think he is waiting for big Jigglypuff Daddy to show up.
Why is everybody else shooting him? Because that sniper scene, which we'll get into.
What about those claymores that he has?
I don't know.
Yeah, what about those claymores that just shoot columns of flame directly into the sky?
Magic
Unclear.
claymores.
Riddle me that.
I think the idea is like they're all trying not to kill him until like if he gets taken out in a big group, whatever. But they're not actively trying to snipe him until he gets a little too fucking close, and they're like, "Oh fuck, I'm gonna die if I don't kill him." My best explanation. I don't think it's a foolproof explanation.
It makes more sense to me,
Yeah,
at least,
okay.
than what the
Yeah,
movie
that's-
presented to me, right?
We've put as much thought into this as they did, the filmmakers.
Yeah.
Maybe more.
Yeah, so we have the mercenaries running away. They're in their Humvee,
Yeah.
driving away from this team after they murdered the one guy. And then I believe the Chinese military sends in helicopters to take them down.
Yeah, this is where the plot gets weird to me, like conceptually. So you'd think at this point it'd be the teams like cut off and isolated,
Yeah.
right? Because the odds are not even. The entire Chinese military is there
Yeah.
for war games versus like 10 mercenaries or something like that, right? So in normal action movies, what you would expect is something happens to not just even the playing field, but to give the bad guys an advantage, which makes the good guys' ultimate victory all the more, wow, convincing he's the good guy.
Yes.
That does not happen. It almost happens,
Yeah. We
but
need,
then it does not happen.
And then it goes the complete other way, in
Yeah.
fact.
Yes, and then it ends up, no, the whole Chinese military is there.
yeah. So typically in like in an action movie, you would have the military out of the loop. They're just like, we can't get to
Yeah.
you. Like a river has taken out the road, or like a
Or,
flood has
or
taken
they
out the
even
road.
turn on him. They blame him.
Yeah. So you just have this ragtag group of people, only 5 of them, saying like, listen, we're on our own. We don't have any weapons. I've got a knife. Let's make some bows and arrows out of branches and stuff. And they come
Yeah.
together. Like that's what typically would happen. But in this movie, it's 180, where it's just like, no, we have the full
but
military
what's
after you.
strange is the bad guys act like that has happened.
Mm-hmm.
So Tomcat is like smirking. He's like, they're like, the fucking Chinese military is going to get us. He's like, this is all part of my plan. So immediately an Apache pulls up, Sidewinder missiles, kills half his team. Immediately half his team is murdered by a fucking direct hit from an Apache Sidewinding missile right to one of those Humvees. And he's still fucking smirking. He's like, that's exactly what I had planned. And then another Apache shows up to his Humvee this time. They try to shoot it with a rocket launcher. Now, at this point, they put graphite in the air. So they're like, oh, great. Except that fucking helicopter still got off another Sidewinder and blew up their only means of transportation. So now they're isolated in Chinese territory with the entire military after them, including Wolf Warrior, who's fucking now got a motivation to come kill this guy. How is this in all under his control? In most normal movies, that would be the good guy's situation.
Yeah.
He's fucked.
And this potentially just comes down to ego, where it's evil Ben Affleck, just like his ego is so full and he's so cocky and he's just like, listen, it's just the military. We've got this. We're the best of the best.
They're terrible.
But the funny part is, though, Tomcat and his like 3 other guys, they take out a shit ton of guys.
They do.
They do take out a shitload. That's why it's so weird.
This is bizarre.
It's so
This
weird.
is why I was wondering who exactly this movie is made for, because this scene, we see this montage of essentially, so they were doing this training exercise, so they didn't have live rounds up until now, and then the Chinese, the People's Liberation Army, brings in live rounds, and there's just like loads and loads and loads and cases full of ammunition and bombs and grenades and everything. And then it culminates with the scene where they have all these arm patches that they put on their uniforms that are the Chinese flag that say, "I fight for China," in English.
Yeah, what was with that?
That's for us. That's for us.
Yeah, that was for us. Yeah.
And then the next, I don't know, 45 minutes or so is like, against this half dozen Western mercenaries, kill like dozens and hundreds of these people in the Chinese army because there are so many of them. And like, who are we showing how great the Chinese military is here, or how great I don't know. It's just bizarre.
Yeah, it's
a bad look when a dude with a rifle can kill like 30 dudes easily. Handle.
Yeah,
it's not good.
Oh man!
But there is one thing I'd like to bring up before we move on. He shoots the graphite bomb into the sky and it fucks up the helicopter, which then just has to like leave because Chinese helicopters are the best made that can withstand graphite bombs or whatever. I don't know. So it cuts back to the command center where they say, "How can we deal with this? We can't get air support in. We'll make it rain.
Yes,
bring on the artificial rain." And then the movie moves on, and it's just over.
No,
we don't hear about their like weather control machines.
Oh yeah, I think we need to talk about the tree incident though.
Not yet.
Oh yeah, no, it's important for the flashback.
It very is.
Are we not there yet?
Well,
no, we're there.
We're approaching it.
We're there now.
I want to do one point because the mercenaries, you have to make sure you understand how evil they are. That they spray paint a rock going into the forest saying Chinese Boy Scouts. Okay, now we can move forward.
I bet you $1 million trillion the original said something way worse than that, and the party's like, "No, you're not fucking putting that."
You can't do that.
Here's the other.
You can't do
Here's
that.
another point. The other side of the arm patch thing. They spray paint that in Chinese characters.
Chinese.
Onto this.
Yeah, so they can read it.
Yeah,
the Chinese need to read it.
And like the last line between Scott Adkins and the hero, he even says like, "Do you speak Chinese?" And he's like, "What?" And then he just attacks them. So everything's like, oh, it's flipped. Oh, okay. Let's go into the forest. Let's go.
Is this a prequel to Geostorm, by the way, with the rain machines?
Oh,
oh my god!
It's a prequel to Red Dawn, the new one.
Takes place in the Geostorm expanded universe. So they've got these 30 guys without air support, with all of their real bullets because they had their commando arm up scene where it's like, yeah, put those bullets in that gun, and they're running through the jungle. And they find themselves in a situation eerily similar to the one that his father was in, where there's 1 million guys versus one dude.
Think it's his father. We think it's his father.
Alleged father.
Allegedly, what happened to his father, even though there's no way any of us could know that story. Like, it's just a story for us, the audience.
Also,
whatever.
How would he know the story?
He shouldn't, unless his dad told him.
Yeah.
But he doesn't know his father because he left.
Yeah, and that's the implication. He doesn't know his dad.
Unclear. Maybe someone else told him. You know,
he got drunk and fucked his mom once. That was the story.
If anyone out there can clarify this for us, please respond to us and clarify this for us.
Yeah.
Yes, please.
Yeah, if there's any Wolf Warrior lore experts out there, hit us up. Hit us up. So they're all pinned down by sniper fire, and it can happen. A dude gets shot, And in the Chinese military, they don't teach you to throw smoke grenades, to flank around, to even spot where the guy is. They teach you one dude. Okay, he's down. Another guy. Run out there and get him. Did you get shot? All right. Next guy. Run out there and get those two guys. And they just keep repeating that until there's like bodies strewn everywhere.
It's a carpet.
Just so many guys. And then, the commander, I think it's the commander.
It was, yeah.
Yeah,
he
it's the
starts
main
yelling.
commander who's like, you piece of shit, you'll never be a wolf warrior.
Yeah.
Yeah, he starts yelling at Sniper Man, just like, just shoot me. Oh, this hurts so bad.
Yeah. So we have to make it very clear, though. Like, he was about to kill himself, and he's putting the gun up to his head, and he gets shot through the elbow, and his gun goes flying. Like, this poor man's been shot like 7 times, and he's screaming out for his team, just like, end it.
And it's like, oh no, he's going to repeat his father's ? Cowardice ?
That he cannot possibly know of.
Yeah. But instead he decides, okay, everybody, shoot this tree with me. And then like 100 dudes just start lighting up a tree nearby to create the smallest amount of cover you've ever seen. It's not even cover. It's just concealment. Because they start like crawling up and then they like pull the commander back. And then after the commander's safe,
It does. It works.
it works. I mean, it works, but it's like the dumbest plan you could possibly have. Again, none of them are carrying smoke grenades.
Now we really need to get into some potentially cultural, moral questions that we're not totally clear. What is the moral failing of the father in the flashback scene? What was he supposed to do there?
I think
based on the movie, not based on our understanding, based on what the movie's telling us.
I don't know if
what is he supposed to do?
Never leave a man behind.
It could be that.
Okay.
It also could be following orders. But then we also have our hero.
What were the
disobeying
orders?
No, it's always shoot someone.
Shoot me, you motherfucker!
When they ask you. When someone asks you to shoot them, you do it. Otherwise, damn your ancestors.
So is the father shameful for not having killed the
Yes.
commander, or shameful for not having saved the commander?
I think it's both.
Both.
I think it's
Okay.
both.
Yeah. I think it's both.
Because he just left.
Rather
He
than
ran
do
away.
something like shoot a tree, he left, like following orders. And that's shameful
Yeah,
too.
he got the important.
Because you're never supposed to
He
follow
got the
orders.
important information back to safety. So apparently that's not.
Oh,
Fuck
yeah.
that guy. Yeah. Dishonorable discharge. You did your
Sure.
job.
Now, what Long Fong does is also not follow orders. In fact, that's kind of his MO, not following orders for the greater good. So he actually saves the guy. But is what he does any worse than what his dad did? Because the father, okay, didn't follow orders, but he also made sure that information got back, whatever the hell it was.
Yeah.
So that's
don't
where I'm a little in the dark on the moral equivalence
Yes.
between these two.
I would say no,
Two
because
scenes.
it worked out for him. But if it didn't, and him and the commander got shot there, then yes, it would have.
But like,
I don't-
even if he died, like what consequence from the military standpoint?
That's
is
your
it?
commander.
If he didn't have intel,
That's like your father, Dave. Like, he can't just.
like in the father's flashback, intel they had to bring back. In the present setting, the Wolf Warriors had nothing. They were just fighting random mercenaries. So like there was nothing to bring
No,
back.
there was a virus that would kill all the Chinese.
Right. Oh,
That's not real. That's not part of it yet.
Oh, no, that's not important.
That's not even in
That
this
doesn't
yet.
matter. What does matter is at one point, the commanding officers in the thing said, "Go reclaim
Yes.
China's honor."
It was.
Sorry.
I think it's that, but I also like the virus theory too. I
Filthy
think that's,
Western dogs have infiltrated Chinese territory and they have to be put down.
Well, they
What
did.
don't you get about this?
Yeah, they did just kill people in like a China territory, and they shouldn't be there. So,
They killed the family man.
cue flashback.
Yeah.
Sure do love living.
They made him shoot 3 flares
Yeah.
into
The
his
best
own
part-
chest. God damn it!
The best.
Go reclaim China's honor. I fight for China.
The best part is that's a moment in Wolf Warrior 2. So that guy comes up once more.
So basically, after this
Oh, wow.
point, the Chinese army basically runs through the rest of the mercenaries like very quick
Literally runs
at this
through.
point in the movie.
And this is where there is such a cultural divide. Like, it is not a fair fight. It's not like the strong few fighting the hordes mass. It's like, no, the good guys are the hordes. They're just
Yeah.
like thousands of people storming them.
Yeah.
They're getting killed by the hundreds, but they just overwhelm them with numbers. Like heroes do.
But no, that's not true. We have our
This
hero.
is not about a hero. This is about the army.
Yeah, we
So-
have long.
Yeah, but the
Fong.
army is the good guy.
Army's a good guy. But we have also...
This is what happens when the army is the good guy. It makes no fucking sense. It makes no sense. It'd be like Saving Private Ryan, but instead, like, you're the Germans and you're killing the soldiers coming ashore. You're like, yeah, that's a good thing. It's a good thing. It's like, no, it's fucking... What? All right, let's get to the showdown. The showdowns.
Well, I also want to, again, like, we have Long Fong running through, like, he takes off all of his gear to take out the other sniper that's on the mercenaries team. And this is actually kind of cool because he has, like, 2.5 seconds.
Is it? Is it cool?
I thought it was
Does
neat.
that make sense?
Okay, rather than cool, I'll put neat. Because it's...
Is it neat? Because she says the psychotic thing, like, snipers take 2.5 seconds to track their targets, and he goes, heh. I could do 2.3. Strips down, takes off all of his gear, has like a pistol, if that, and he just starts running his ass off, and he's dodging a dive, and she says, now, and then he
Zigzag
turns,
patterns.
and the guy can't track him.
But the weird thing is,
and that goes on
but
way longer
she
than
says
it should.
2.5 like the normal sniper time, and he says 2.3 for himself.
Yes.
But the sniper in the tree is also 2.3.
Yeah.
Was he?
Because he's really good.
Yeah.
the sniper.
Okay. So either way, you have him running through the forest, changing patterns, getting closer and closer to the sniper, and he takes him out fairly quickly. Then you see the ragtag guys take on a giant. Like, he is 3 times their size, and one guy is willing to sacrifice himself by pinning his body on top of the giant and putting a grenade on the back of his head, but his buddy rips him off, and all of them should have died in that moment, but they survive, and it ends in a good little dick punch. So
See, that one
nice
makes
humor
sense.
in there.
That one makes total sense. Classic David Goliath scene, right?
Yeah.
Like, that one makes total sense.
Okay.
It's the part where there's 1,000 nameless soldiers running through the forest that makes no sense. And maybe that's a cultural thing, but it's fucking weird.
Yeah,
it's weird.
It's really weird
Because you want the bad guys to be taken out by named characters.
Yeah.
Yeah, our named character is the PLA. That's just one giant character.
It's not even dog warriors. It's literally the other standard military guys that are doing this.
Yeah.
You explain that one, Adam.
I'm not going to. I'm just going to
By the way,
continue this.
the relationship between Fong Long and Long Xiao Yu, it's so funny because they keep using mathematics as like a way to communicate. They're like, when they first meet, she's like, what were the chances of you shooting that guy? He's like, 50%. And what's the other 50%? There was no other 50%. It's like, well, then why did you say 50%? Why did you just say 100%? Hey, maybe that's a problem with the translator, but I thought that was really funny.
That.
He said 50%, and then actually he meant 100%. It's just the weirdest fucking conversation.
Yeah,
because it comes up later again.
Yeah. I think she uses it.
Yeah, she uses it for him. And I think it makes more sense when she uses it. It's like, what are the chances I'm back in the army? 50%. That you're out of the army. He's like, so it's 50% that I'm in the army? Nah, you're fucking out of the army, dude. Gotta join Wolf Warriors. Oh God, I forgot that great dialogue.
Yeah.
I love the dialogue in this movie.
Yeah,
I was just like audibly shouting to my wife because I had my headphones in. I'm like, what the fuck?
But at this point, like, the hero, he's taken multiple bullet shots. Like, I think I counted. He got shot like 3 times. There's been multiple explosions that have like tossed him around the jungle. He's probably got several concussions at this point as well. And he's chasing after...
It doesn't slow him down. He's barely affected.
But he's chasing after Scott Adkins, and he steps on a landmine. And this is where another like stats dialogue comes up. It's like, you got 13% chance of living on this one. And he digs around the mine, which I had to get everybody else to explain to me of why he was doing this. So it's deeper down, so he has a higher chance of jumping off of it.
Is it because it would just spray outwards and so it would dissipate a lot of the spray?
But we've seen the mines shoot up.
I think that's the idea.
Or it'd be like a tunnel and it shoots straight up, and if he just dodges out, he would miss it completely.
Is that what it was? Okay.
It's a bunch of bullshit either way.
Yes,
He's faster than explosions.
And he survives, and he makes another reference. So this is the second or third time he makes a reference of like, you owe me a drink for that one, hinting at he's going to take out the lady after this because he's going to survive.
He's gonna conquer her.
He's going to conquer her. He finally catches up to Scott Adkins. Then there's that scene, where Scott Adkins has a clear shot, but he doesn't take it, and he's just trying to reach the border so he can get out of China. so they can't do anything to him. But then this scene comes down to like, yeah, it's a little shootout. They run out of bullets, and it's kind of weird. Like, it feels very lazy, this fight scene, because you have one person on the higher ground, one person on the lower ground. They're in like this weird coolie situation, and they're just shooting at each other, and then they're out of bullets.
Through the earth. They're trying to just like shoot bullets through the ground to get each other. And it's just like way after the tension of the scene is like, oh, are they going to hit each other or not, is gone. They're still shooting. And then they just keep shooting. And it's the most boring shit I've ever seen.
But then it comes down to close combat, like hand-to-hand combat. And you have Scott Adkins say, you might not be the smartest soldier I've ever seen, but you are the bravest.
But the guy doesn't speak English, so he has no idea what he says.
Yeah, and just attacks him. There is some cool fighting with this. Like, you get to see Scott Adkins do some powerful kicks again. Our hero's, again, like flipping around. Like, he's very acrobatic. He's using everything. The funniest moment that we were laughing at nonstop, and we had to repeat 6 times, Dylan, was when Scott Adkins kicks the hero in the neck, and they pan out, and you just see like the ground, and you see him land on his neck, but it like that scene lasts for like 5 seconds. It's beautifully
Like they
done.
had a guy holding him by the ankles, just like lowering him into frame.
And then they drop it.
It was amazing.
How many takes did they have to do that?
In a
I like
movie
the
full
blueprints.
of just beautiful cinematography, that scene stood out, unfortunately.
So it's about this time the plot of the Jigglypuff Daddy is revealed.
We have to have Scott Adkins deeply disrespect him and rip off his badge saying that you fight for China. And I can't remember the line that he does say, but we have our hero take the
Oh,
knife
I know
that
the line.
says- Oh, okay. Do you want
I
to
know the
set it
line.
up? You can set it up.
Well, I don't know what Scott Adkins says because I would never say that about China. I deeply respect that nation and its people and history. But whatever he says is fucking bad. He rips off the flag, probably throws it on the ground. I don't know what he does with it. Has the knife to his throat, is about to kill our hero, but then our hero says, "Those who challenge China's resolve will have no place to hide." Fucking flips, get him, kills him, dead.
Cuts his own throat to stab Scott Adkins in his trachea.
He will spill his blood for his nation. He was fine up until that point. Like, he wasn't going to hurt this guy until that point when he disrespected.
Well, he literally started
It set him
seeing
off.
Chinese flags. There's little tiny flags in his eyes. He was so pissed.
Yeah.
Yeah, the reflection from the patch. Oh my god.
Yeah.
Yeah. And just a nationalistic rage filled him.
And then right after, we get the conclusion of the chemical warfare bomb or whatever.
Right. Well, they
Yes.
know that Jigglypuff Daddy's in China. And I think he's Chinese. I don't think it's ever really clarified, but I think he's Chinese. But he might not be. He might be from another Southeast Asian country.
Yeah.
They're like, is he just here to get vengeance for his brother? And they're like, oh no, he's a businessman. He's here to do something else. And they kind of know what he's doing. Now, here's my question.
Mhm.
Is that the information that the guy who fucking potentially his dad,
Oh.
You know,
is that the information?
let's just say yes. Just tie it up with a nice bow, because I don't think it is, but let's just for comfort.
They know a fair bit about it. And I wasn't paying close enough attention, and also my translation was shitty.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah, I'm gonna say yeah, it was.
Let's go
it
for it.
wraps it up into a nice bow for us if it's information about the bomb. But I think it was more just generic, unrelated military intelligence for a subplot they tacked on when the runtime wasn't 90 minutes. But that's just my theory. Don't take my word for it.
Watch this movie for yourself.
So anyway, however he finds out, and I think it might be related to that, they know about this super virus, the Chimera virus, but this time it's calibrated to target only Chinese people. Now, would Chinese Americans be affected? And would the Taiwanese be affected? Answer from the perspective of China and from the perspective of Taiwan.
We're getting canceled for sure, no matter what we say.
Quickly, can I get canceled?
Oh man.
Would Chinese Taipei be affected?
Oh my god.
What a pickle.
Well, they're not a nation, right? But they are Chinese.
We acknowledge the
But
existence.
Well,
we acknowledge
it's
them
hard
as
to say-
separate.
John Cena told me so it has to be true.
I guess we're cutting all this, but that's the most like
Work.
This is the best stuff.
Yeah.
seeing John Cena sitting there speaking like I guess it's pretty good Mandarin. I mean, it sounded okay to me at least. Remember when he would like come out like draped in a fucking American flag and like would salute the troops and all that shit? That's over. That era is done.
Nope.
No, he's the peacemaker now, right? He
Now
stands
he's
for
Peacemaker.
America.
Peacemaker's actually a pretty fucking funny character. I've watched a couple clips of the show, but cut all that out. I can't let John Cena know that I think he's a decent.
Yeah,
actor.
no, that's definitely where we draw the line. John
Yeah,
Cena.
yeah.
You can't
Yeah,
let
yeah,
John
yeah,
Cena
yeah.
know that you're a fan.
Thanks, editor. Thanks, editor. Anyways, in conclusion,
If you're joining us again and there's been a weird sound clip, that's because Adam is censoring me and this is horseshit. But so there's this virus. It's basically Chimera. It targets only the Chinese. Our hero stops him from escaping Chinese territory because on the other side is, the best I can understand, is the Viet Cong is running to join him. Who the fuck are those guys?
No
and
idea.
Where are they? And where are we? And what year is it?
That's actually,
I don't know. I had no idea. I tried so hard to like put that together. And the closest I could come to it is like, oh, they time traveled. Like at some point, the graphite bomb just disrupted the space-time continuum. And now it's the 60s.
Can someone pull up a world map, and see which countries border China? And we'll do a process of elimination of who they are and who they aren't.
I think they do mention it's the southern border of China.
I think they said southeast,
yeah.
It's
but
not
that doesn't
really-
really make sense to me.
Southeast is
They
the
don't
ocean.
show it up.
Yeah.
That's what it doesn't make sense.
So it
to me.
could be
Southwest.
It could be
Mermaids.
Vietnam, Laos, Myanmar, Nepal, Bangladesh. I don't know.
It was India.
India, yeah. If you India,
It was North Korea.
It's super unclear. It's super
Bahubali
unclear.
was in this movie.
This really did in some ways feel like just it had that same sort of like Bollywood energy where it's like anything can fucking happen. You don't know what's going to happen next.
I think,
Yeah.
and I think that's why I liked it, because I just wasn't sure what to expect, and it just kept going and going and going.
Oh, sorry.
And building off of it.
We're all the listeners are like, but how does it end? He wins. Anyways, yeah, it had this crazy Bollywood energy.
He wins. He gets the girl. But there's an important scene that makes no fucking sense and we need to address. So he wins. He gets the girl. And then that guy from the flashback, that guy who had the information, the intelligence, and failed to kill his comrade and somehow is shameful and somehow is connected to Long Fong. Yeah, he shows up. And is it the woman? I think it's the woman.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Presents him with a medal.
Yeah.
Now, the implication is this old man, whose medal is that for? Is that for what he did? Or is that for what Long Fong did? Or is that for the guy who got flared in the chest?
Oh my God.
Those are the
it's-
only three options.
It's not the flare guy, because the flare guy comes
Okay.
up in the second movie, and I'll touch on that in After Hours. But
Now, so why is this old man being presented with the medal?
So I think you were right that his intel was about the chimera drug that only targets Chinese people. That was the intel he got, which led to them capturing. So
I
then he got
agree.
a medal for that.
That
Okay.
is not
So-
what I took away from the scene. That was a shame medal. That was him being like, not only do you have a son, but he is better than you in every way. Here's proof of that.
This is the Razzie Award of the Victoria Cross. Yes. You fucked up so bad, we give you an award. I think, okay, so I think I'm right. I think the information he had was about the Chimera virus, but it does throw the entire moral quandary flashback scene into question for me. Because I don't understand what he did wrong still. I still don't understand what he was supposed to do there.
It has to be a cultural thing that we're not seeing.
It has to be. And then I still don't see how the fuck Long Fong's situation is at all comparable, and how his solution of shooting down a tree, by the way, he needed like 80 guys to shoot down that tree. So like even this guy who's the only survivor with this absolutely critical information, like why did they have that?
Yeah.
Like have the flashback with him getting the info and running away. Now, the most important question, is this Long Fong's dad?
I think so.
We don't know.
I'm going to say yes.
I'll never
I'm going
know.
to say yes. I mean,
Who was that man walking away from the little boy?
Because doesn't she ask him?
Is that the guy who
Hold on.
gets caught with the intelligence?
Because I think it's his dad. Because when they were driving away, doesn't she say like, "Don't you want to go see him" or something like that? And he's like drunk and doesn't care. He's like, fuck it. Did you say
At
that?
that
Then?
point, yeah, he's just black. He's fully immersed in the booze. He's got so many like bullet wounds and shrapnel wounds and concussions. He has to drink.
I think we were so
Yeah,
confused and
Wolf
laughing. I think we
Warriors.
missed that like little snippet of
Probably.
her like, "Are you sure you don't want to go talk to him?"
Probably. Yeah.
Kind of
That
thing.
sounds familiar to me, but I choose to ignore it for comedy purposes.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
And that's it.
I'll accept
yeah,
that.
and that's how the movie ends. And then we get hilarious bloopers of the action. They also blow up the Boy Scout rock before the credits roll, which is
yeah.
fantastic. But that's
I actually wish movies would do the blooper reel.
I do too. I
wish that was a thing still.
I miss Jackie Chan bloopers.
Rush Hour
Yeah,
and
they were
stuff. Yeah, it
great.
was great. I
Jackie,
miss that.
always okay. He's got like 3 broken ribs.
Yeah.
And that about wraps it up, right?
Yeah. I don't
Yeah.
know if there's much more to say except for the sequel
Sequel.
and the real world implications
2 thumbs
of
up, go
Wolf
China.
Warrior diplomacy. But
Well, I think we should all say, like, in the end, did we like the movie and would we recommend it? Adam, you'll
Damn
go
it.
last. Tom, what did you think?
so as an action movie, there's some stuff in there which is legitimately like well done. Like when they get to the hand-to-hand fighting with Scott Adkins, because like he can throw a kick, he can, do the choreography. It works. It works really well. As far as like a movie that makes sense and is like coherent, no, it's just kind of a mess. Like they've got a scene in the middle where they're like fighting a bunch of CG wolves with bayonets and blanks and flares. Like,
Yeah, it was awesome.
well, it was awesome, and that's the thing this is either like a serious military movie or it's just a goofy, lighthearted adventure about fuck up squad trapezing through the wilderness, and I don't know what it is.
Yeah.
Right? 5 stars, 0 stars, one of the two.
Either way, you're getting fucking hacked. So.
Now I throw it over to Dave.
I also went into this movie thinking it was going to be what we saw in the first 10 minutes of like this elite team doing elite, awesome things throughout the entire movie, taking down who knows, but we didn't. We got a weird hour-long jungle scene, which I didn't like.
Mm.
So yeah, I give it like a solid 2 out of 10.
Oh,
I don't
wow.
think people need to watch it.
Yeah.
Matt, how many Cenas out of 10 do you give it?
I will give it, I'm going to sit right on the fence and give it 5 John Cena's. I acknowledge the existence of Chinese Taipei, but I also acknowledge the agency of the Communist Party.
Oh no!
Cut that out.
Middle
No, by
ground.
saying Chinese Taipei, you're
I'm
good,
good.
dude.
Okay.
You're
All right.
good.
All right. We're good.
It's that other filthy T word that you
No,
can't
okay.
say.
Honestly, yeah, I feel like Dave. I agree with Dave. Like it set a high watermark in the first 10 minutes because there's a formula for these things where he's this maverick, loose cannon guy who, despite all of his, he never follows orders or follows the rules, and then just kind of fails upward and ends up winning the day, and he's a hero in the end anyway. But it's like obfuscated with all this weird biological weapons subplot and the weird thing where it's like 1,000 versus 6 guys, and the 1,000 is the team that we're supposed to be cheering for. I don't quite understand that, but I mean the action scenes are cool and it was kind of fun. It's also not that long, which is like if this movie was 2.5 hours.
Yeah.
Oh god, that'd be a slog. So
Yeah, 1.5 hours was
Yeah.
pretty nice. Adam,
Yeah, I don't want to echo what everybody else is saying, but I sit in the middle with this movie where I probably wouldn't recommend it to other people. I would bring it up in a casual conversation, just like dropping Wolf Warrior reference at times. The action, I like the close hand-to-hand combat. I thought that really drove it for me. The story overall was is fairly bland. Like everything felt very vanilla, especially with them just being in the forest, like Dave was mentioning. That's not even shot nice. Like it looks brown and gray. There's nothing that really pops in this movie. And I think maybe I'm a bit biased because, again, I just watched Wolf Warrior 2, and that is a bright movie, and they got the action down, like, spot on for it. So looking at this one again, no, it just, like, doesn't transfer over. So I'll probably give it just, like, a 5 out of 10 because I did enjoy some of the action, but also story wasn't that great. Military movies, I'm not a big fan of, so hard pass. Dylan?
Hard pass. 5 out of 10.
right? Yeah, as a movie, I thought it was. As a movie, I thought it was very average. 5 out of 10, kind of right in that range. 6 out of 10 if you're really into action. Action was good. Plot was nonsensical. But given the existence of Red Dawn 1 and Red Dawn the remake, like we fucking deserve one of these. Like, come on. Like we do the exact same thing.
Oh, yeah.
Like somehow the fucking Cubans are going to invade and like North Korea is going to attack. Like, come on. Like we make these movies. We made them back in the 80s, and the fact that we even tried to make a new one in the 2010s just shows like how little we've evolved. So we can laugh and point fingers like, haha, stupid Chinese propaganda. Like we make these fucking movies
Exactly.
too.
Yeah.
We totally do.
But it's okay when we do it. Jeez.
Right. It's just as corny and just as stupid when like teenagers are taking on the full-on Soviet like height of the Cold War military. I'm sure Soviets watching this like we would have fucking killed those kids immediately. Like we would. We have like chemical warfare and nuclear weapons. Why would we have any problem with teenagers? So it's totally deserved. We do the same thing, but it is interesting seeing it from the other side done to you where they still cast an English guy to play an American. So like as much as we're trying to like, we're like, he fucking sounds British. So this makes no sense, but whatever. But I fucking hated that guy. So, you know, they did it. I hated him. I wanted the Chinese guy to kill him. You just didn't need to kill like 40 of your own soldiers. So I'd be interested to see how they work that out in the sequel, because the sequel is supposed to be even better, much like Godfather. So let's talk Warriors. All right, so that about does it for Wolf Warrior here. We'll catch you in the after hours. See you later.
Bye. Bye. Please, Adam, tell us what's going on.
He's got a real cool holodeck.
He loves to fight.
He's a maverick. He's a rogue. He's a scoundrel. He does not follow orders.
He can only get drunk.
It's implied. Man's covered in so many liquids.
Ooh, sexy.
I just love living. It's so good to be alive. Kill me! Just kill me! Shoot me!
Just shoot me. Oh, this hurts so bad.
Shoot me, you motherfucker!
Whoa.
I know nothing about guns.
When someone asks you to shoot them, you do it. Otherwise, damn your ancestors.
That took some balls. You're in, you son of a bitch.
God damn it. If I could slap you, I would.
That's how wars work, Dave.
You ever played Age of Empires? Come on.
Do you think chess is just a game?
Yeah, for babies.
I don't know. It's just bizarre.
Not only do you have a son, but he is better than you in every way. Here's proof of that.
Donatello, isn't that eugenics?
I've only got one answer to that, and that's, oh, say, can you see by the dawn's
Who the fuck are those guys? And where are they? And where are we? And what year is it?
We've got this. We're the best of the best.
It's a bunch of bullshit either way.
John Cena told me so it has to be true.
But cut all that out. I can't let John Cena know that I think he's a decent actor.
You can't let John Cena know that you're a fan.
Let's make Montana great again, guys.
Everyone knows Montana's just shitty Alberta, right? Like,
So you're a freedom trucker is what I'm hearing. Cut that joke. Cut that. Get that out of there.
and that's how the show was canceled.
That one might be edited out, but we'll see.
We're getting canceled for sure, no matter what we say.
We're doing our best. We're doing our best.
What a pickle.
Oh,